What's going on, you guys? This is your boy Scotty by Nature TV,
I'm Tammy Talks.
and we're about to see who was wrong. All right, you guys, we're here with my girl Tammy Talks, and this is another installment of Who Was Wrong and another basketball wives edition of Who Was Wrong. I'm very surprised that a lot of these people that I chose to do this pick a basketball wives feud. But this one is very interesting. Okay, this one is Jennifer versus Evelyn. Now, what I like to do on Who Was Wrong, besides us talking about what happened with the cast members that are in the feud, I like to ask the people that chose these feuds, why did they choose them? So I want to ask Tammy, out of all the ones that was on the list, because I know this particular is that the fuse was not that spectacular due to the fact that I've done two editions of this already. So it's kind of like most of the good ones were already taken. So this is what we were left with. So I was like, okay, so why did you choose this one out of all the ones you did see?
So I wasn't touching Potomac. I, I wasn't touching Potomac. I was like, I catch enough hell on my own. So I wasn't touching Potomac. But I think with Jennifer and Evelyn, I think it's an interesting feud.
It
I
is an
think
interesting
it's the
feud.
most interesting one because they were friends turned enemies. And I guess they're like friends now, I guess. So out of convenience, maybe. I don't know.
I want to go on record by saying I don't like neither one of them. So my stance on this feud would be very interesting. And I think I have a difference of opinion than I did when I was watching it back then. Because I think the season
Okay.
that they fell out was season 4. And I think that was 2012, I think. So I was like 23 years old then. So
Okay.
I was 23 and now I'm 35. So my opinions are different than what they were when I was watching it. If you even, I just suggest you don't go back and look at my old Basketball Wives reviews because I sound ignorant as hell on those reviews. So don't go back and watch them. But what I will say is that my opinions may have slightly changed a little bit since then. But we're going to start it off with before the feud, okay?
Okay.
And Jennifer and Evelyn were mean and evil as friends, in my opinion. They were, ride or die, going at it with all the other girls in the group. Jennifer was pretty much Evelyn's little sidekick, in my opinion. I felt like Jennifer was a follower for most of the time on the show. I never understood the appeal of Jennifer. I just felt like people thought that she was pretty, she could dress, her hair was nice, and boom, we like her. But as far as her personality, I just never felt she had one.
I think people felt sorry for Jennifer
Mm.
after we saw what was her not name Eric. After he threw that martini in her face, I feel like people just felt sorry for her
Right.
and people started to like her because of that.
That too, because I've never liked Jennifer in any capacity. Let's make that clear. But when her husband was treating her like crap, you know what I'm saying? I did kind of feel for her in a sense when he did treat her like crap. Now, how did you feel about the friendship of Jennifer and Evelyn at the beginning when the show first started, the first two seasons? Because I think the fallout started around season 3. So the first two seasons they were friends. So how did you feel about the friendship?
So whenever I watch reality TV, I like when it's not just two people thrown together. So whenever people come in being for real friends,
Mm-hmm.
I'm always on board with it.
Yeah, it's more real.
So yeah, because it's authentic. You can tell them when they were talking, like they were really talking as friends. They
Mm-hmm.
were homegirls. It wasn't like, okay, production said to talk about this. They were really talking. So I mean, they were mean, but mean people don't bother me on TV. It's real life. People are mean. People are mean in real life. So whenever people are mean on reality TV, I'm like, this is life. We all know
Mhm.
people that are evil like that.
I don't know why that made me so tickled.
We all know people that are rude like that. So like, I don't know. It gave real to me.
I will say that I do agree with you in the aspect of when we're watching reality TV, we want to see reality. You know what I'm saying? Not people thrown in a room together and production say, I'm going to make you be her friend for the show. You know, that
Mhm.
type of thing. Because sometimes people don't realize that some of these people bring these people on and they are chosen to bring them on as their friend, and they have to make up a scenario and be like, oh, I know her from the fashion world. Oh, I know her from the
Right.
con, or I met her at the grocery store one day, you know, that type of BS. So we could tell that Jennifer and Evelyn were friends and they had a deep rooted history.
Mhm.
Now, sometimes that is a good thing to come on the show alongside your best friend, but sometimes that could be the detriment of a friendship because of the show producers confessionals, because you get to say things behind people back that you probably wouldn't say to their face, and
Right.
they're seeing it in real time. And then you got social media in your ear as well. Social media also plays a part. They have their opinions. You're reading what everybody's saying, and then sometimes when you're reading the opinions of other people, it sometimes can get up into your head and make you think a different way because you're seeing it because other eyes are seeing what you're going through in a
Right.
sense. So around the time Evelyn got with Ocho Cinco, Jennifer wasn't down with it. Remember season 2 when they went on their first date and Evelyn slept with him on the first date? She told Jennifer about it. Jennifer had this, you didn't waste any time. You know, it's just like she didn't really care for him. And by season 3, when they went on their trip to Spain, is when the fallout really began between the two of them. That's when we started to
Yeah.
see the cracks. Jennifer did an interview and they asked her how she felt about Chad. And she was like, I just feel like he's an attention whore. Like, you know, you already been down that road. Do you want to go down that road again? Evelyn was pissed about that. And she felt like it was negative. And so she said it's not positive. You know, this is a negative thing. Why would you say this on the radio? I can go and do interviews too, whatever. In this scenario, what did you think about this situation? Like, was Jennifer completely wrong for what she said on the radio? Or do you think that Evelyn kind of did too much?
Jennifer was wrong. I think
Okay.
Jennifer was jealous.
Mm,
Jennifer was coming out of her divorce. I don't remember if they were divorced by that point, but she was coming out of like the horrible marriage with Eric. I remember Eric was like trying to put her out of their condo or something, right?
yeah,
So she was having to move. I think she was jealous that Evelyn got with somebody, and Ocho Cinco was popping at that time.
he was.
So I think that it was a little bit of jealousy of my life is falling apart. You've been like the single mistress this whole time, and now you done got a dude that's in the NFL that has money, that has swag, that is somebody. I think it was jealousy. But you don't ever, I have not liked tons of my friends' boyfriends. I would never go and stand up in front of a room or get on my Instagram live and say, "Oh, I don't like so and so because this, that, and the other." Like you just don't do that.
I
Especially when they're supposed to be like besties. They weren't just
That's true.
like friends. Like y'all are like freaking friend. Y'all are like friends. So I was like, Jennifer, that was mm,
Right. I
mm.
agree. And this is where I say my opinion changed since I seen it back then. I'm gonna tell you why. Because when I
Okay.
was watching it back then, I thought that Evelyn was doing too fucking much. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Mm.
Because Jennifer basically said that she didn't really fuck with Chad to her face. Like some of the stuff that she said in the interview, I kind of felt like she said it before already. But I think it's different now that I'm older now, because like I said, I was 23 when that season came out. So a lot of my views on this has changed a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, back then it's like she doing too much. She said this to her already. But then the 35-year-old me is like, Girl, why would you go on the radio and talk about your best friend man like that? Whether you like them or not, because I have a lot of female friends, and for the most part, I didn't like none of their men. It may be only two or three that I actually liked,
Uh-oh.
but for the most part, I didn't like none of their men. And I never just made it a big deal either. Like I didn't walk in front of the group. Like I didn't walk in like at a party and say, "Girl, I don't like your man. I think he a bitch ass nigga. He ain't for you." Even though I was thinking it, I ain't say it. You know?
And I think that's the thing. If Jennifer told Evelyn, I don't like him, I don't see it for him, she knows how you feel. You don't have to go and tell the world. You don't I mean, she didn't have to lie and say, "Oh, I love it," but you could have just said, "I'm happy if she's happy." We can read between the lines.
Right. Do you think
So,
do you think that interview, because in my mind, I feel like that interview pretty much put them in a place where things won't ever be the same between them. Because I remember Evelyn saying, we would never be the same again. You all for yourself, F you. And when she said we would never be the same again, they really weren't the same us
they
again.
weren't.
Like they really weren't the same. Do you think that that interview could have been resolved with just a conversation, or do you really believe that that interview was really the straw that broke the camel's back for them, even though they came back from it at first? But by the time we got
Yeah.
to the next season, we know that it was fucked up by then. But do you think that interview was the straw that broke the camel's back, even though they kind of forgave, moved on? Do you really believe that they really forgave or moved on after that interview?
Evelyn never did.
Mm.
Evelyn never did. But I do like I don't think Evelyn was doing too much, but for that to be like the beginning of the end with the friendship, I don't think that should have been that. I don't. I don't want to say Evelyn overreacted, but like people have done stuff to you. Like I'm almost 40. I done been through tons of friendships, right? Some stuff, depending on how long you've been friends with people, you can move forward from. So that's just a testament of like, were y'all really that cool? If her saying that she didn't like your dude is like the end all be all. But I think that Evelyn knew there was some truth to that too. There was some
Or
truth to it.
Or could they already been having underlying issues already, and that was the thing that blew up? Because
And that's
sometimes
another thing.
sometimes you have underlying issues with a person already that you haven't spoken on,
Yep.
and you try to sweep it under the rug for a little while, and then they come up with something else that you don't like that's really big to you, and then it's like, oh no, I'm not fucking with that. No. What you think of that?
Been
Do you think it was some
so
underlying stuff?
it could have been, but they were never going to show those cracks on the show.
That's true.
Because they had to be they had to put up the front, they had to go against Tammy. So they had to put up that front. So they were never going to show us if it was, because for it to be, and it was bad, yes. But for Evelyn to be like F you and all that other stuff, because Evelyn did act a fool in Spain, warranted to some degree. But y'all had to have been beefing about something else
Mm-hmm.
that was off camera, or I still think that Evelyn knew deep down Chad was not the dude for her. She knew that I mean, he changed his name to Ocho Cinco. So, like, you knew he was an attention whore. Like, you knew all this stuff about him. And Jennifer just told you the truth that you weren't ready for.
And that you didn't want to hear. Because a lot of times we hear truths that we really don't want to hear about,
Yep.
and we get mad at our friends about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree with that. Like, I didn't see it then, but now I'm like, for her to be ready to jump up and be so mad like that, she had to be already mad with her about something. And it probably had all to do with Chad. Because Jennifer didn't like
Yeah.
Chad. And I feel like she felt the way because Jennifer didn't like Chad. And sometimes, and I don't know if you ever been through this or not, but sometimes when you're friends with a person and they have a significant other in the mix and you don't really get along with that person, that does create some contention
It
in
does.
friendships. Because I know for me, that has happened to me before. Like, I didn't like my friend's boyfriend at one point in time, one of my homegirls' boyfriend, and I didn't really see her like that while she was with him. Like, because he didn't really want me to be around. You know, I wasn't rude to him. He just knew I ain't like him. She probably told him I ain't like him.
I've been through that and I told him I didn't see it for him. So it
Hmm.
was always like some tension, but it didn't change our friendship when he wasn't around.
Yeah.
It was just like a twinge of like tension when it was like the three of us in the same proximity.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, I don't know why Evelyn cared that much though, because y'all are grown. Like
Right.
when I went through that, we were in our early 20s, like we were still in college and stuff. Now, at my age, I don't have to like your dude.
At all.
I don't have to like him because he's not my friend. You are. So,
Right. And I don't care to know him. That's your dude.
at
Like,
all.
you know, I ain't gonna be rude to him, but I don't have to fuck with him if I don't want to. That's your boy. No mind.
That's you. That's all
So
you.
that's how I feel. Okay, so they get past it. Jennifer has a divorce party. Everybody's cool. We get into season 4. At this point, we know that they're not talking.
That off season was wild.
Wow. They try to they bring them together. Jennifer and Evelyn, they're arguing back and forth. Evelyn said it was something about a blog, and Jennifer like, some of those blogs I didn't even write. My publicist wrote, blah blah blah. So, go ahead, go ahead, go
Okay,
ahead.
I do remember this. That's when they used to have the Basketball Wives recap the show, right?
Hmm.
That was a terrible idea. It was a
Terrible.
terrible idea.
They used to do that with the housewives too, but they
That was a
stopped.
terrible idea.
You're right. She said, I think that Evelyn was like, so did you approve that? Did you read this? She said, I'm not paying attention to blah blah blah, which is a problem. You need to pay attention to what your damn publicist is writing. You won't have these problems.
Why is your publicist writing your recap on the episode anyway? She wasn't there.
She was not there, so she can't say anything about what happened. Like, she could be speaking from her own experience watching the show. Like, it ain't your feelings, it might be her feelings, and she putting it into your words. You know what I'm saying? So that's the issue. But it's just like, So then after they argued about that, the next big thing that happened between them was the whole Shawnee's birthday party, the clutch purse. you know Evelyn and Jennifer argued at the table. Jennifer tried to leave. Evelyn took a clutch and did her like that. And, it was crazy. And I think after that, they really didn't film too much together after that. But then they
Yeah.
had to when they went to Tahiti, and Evelyn exposed all of Jennifer's business. um it was to the point to where it was mentioned that when they was in Las Vegas in that whole situation where Evelyn was accused of sleeping with somebody in Las Vegas, it was really Jennifer that did it, but she took the rap for it, because she was married and things like that. How did you feel about those incidents?
Now, I do not remember the Vegas situation.
Yeah,
Evelyn got a problem with keeping her hands to herself, for
she
one.
does. She does.
So I feel like if we friends or were friends, because they were estranged at that
Hmm.
time. I don't think that they were like done. Because when you're done, you're not gonna give nobody that much energy.
Right.
Evelyn should have never hit her with the purse. And even though it wasn't like a for real hit, it was like a whatever, she shouldn't have done it.
Right.
Because now you're for real drawing a line in the sand. Because if you hit me, we're not friends no more. Point
Period.
blank, period. That's it. Like I have never in my life been in a fist fight ever.
Hmm.
And you even look like you about to hit me or raise your hand, we done. We done. I don't fight.
Period.
Because you're not gonna hit me in my face for one. We just no, can't do it. So Evelyn shouldn't have done that. Now, who took the rap for who? Evelyn took the rap for Jennifer?
For Jennifer, because I don't know if you remember, but the season, that second season, it was this whole talk about Evelyn slept with somebody in Vegas. And that's when Susie had went and told Al
I
Reynolds
love
about it. And that's
Susie.
when Al Reynolds would come on the show, because I know that Al Reynolds was friends with Jennifer and Evelyn. He was like, I know what happened in
Yeah.
Vegas. And Evelyn got mad at Susie. And I guess she got mad with Susie about it because it could have got back that Jennifer fucked somebody while she was married. So on the fourth season, she said this, what about when you that dude in Vegas? And it wasn't even Evelyn that fucked the dude. It was really Jennifer that did it. But she took the rap.
I want Susie to come back to the show so
Now she
I
wants Susie to
loved
come back.
Susie because Susie spilled everything that nobody else would ever say. And Susie didn't do it maliciously. It would just slip out. Um, I kind of feel like if I know where all your bones are buried, I know where all the skeletons are, I'm never gonna say it.
Me
I
either.
like am going through something with a friend right now. And I know so much stuff about her, and I would never say it. I
Mm-hmm.
would never ever say it. And we are like this right now. And I would never say anything that I know about her. I feel like once you do that, like this is two strikes now, Evelyn, where you just, throwing the friendship away. So it's kind of on some whatever happens after this happens. But Evelyn was wrong. Evelyn was wrong for
Yeah,
that.
I just feel like no matter how mad you are at me, I just feel like you should never go into a situation where you're throwing out things that I told you in confidence, or things that you know that I went through, and use it as a
Hmm.
silver bullet just to hurt me. Like
Right.
I can't deal with that. Sometimes there's some things I can really recover from, and because as much as people love to say that I like to hold grudges and stuff, which I kind of do hold them sometimes, depending on
Do
the
you?
severity of it. But I do have a forgiving heart for the most part, especially when I really love somebody. But
Okay.
sometimes you can hurt me so bad when you do. Like, I don't care if you're mad at me. Be mad. Like, I'm not perfect. I know that I have fuck ups as a friend sometimes. As good of a
Right.
friend as I am, I can fuck up on some parts, especially the
Mm,
emotional part, because I'm not an emotional person. And
I'm
sometimes
not
I'm not
either.
the right. See, and people are very frustrated with me because I'm not emotional. So that could be an area that I lack in. But at the same point in time, you should never be so upset with me to the point to where you want to air me out. Like, because I would never do that.
Because that means that we were never friends.
That's how it makes me feel too. Like, if you can do that so fast, then it's like, okay, well, we ever friends then?
We were never friends. But it makes you wonder who else have you told? Because if you're so willing to just say stuff now, the fact that Evelyn was so willing to throw that out there, who did you already say it to? Who have you
Right.
already told? Because it's some stuff that my friends have told me that I've forgotten about, that I won't even remember until they bring it up again. That's how like lock and key I keep stuff. So if you willing to just spit it out like that, it's like who else you been talking to about it that it just came up so easily. You can repeat it so succinctly. Like
Yeah, it's like I said, I can forgive people, but it's like it'll probably never be the same. Like,
because now I can't trust you.
yeah, like I don't see how.
Now I can't trust you. Done told all my business. Why would I tell you new business and new secrets? You just
Right,
gonna
I
say it
can't. I
again.
can't. I
Yeah.
don't feel comfortable. So I think that's about it for that season. So Jennifer did not come back for season 5. By season 6 they merged LA and Miami together. Why? I don't know. Jennifer showed up by the end of season 6. Her and Evelyn made up. They're going to season 7 being friends. But at the middle of season 7, we got this epic scene where Jennifer says, okay, me and Tammy had a conversation about Evelyn sleeping with your ex.
I remember that scene like it was yesterday because
Go
I
in.
was watching it and I'm like, Jennifer, what the fuck? Like, why would you? Because why would you say it? And like, I get it. Jennifer at that time had teamed up with Tammy, who
Mm-hmm.
you teamed up with Tammy, who you used to drag, but whatever. So now you and Tammy are just besties. What is the purpose? What
Right.
was the purpose? Because that's when they were saying that Evelyn slept with Shaq, right?
Uh-huh.
What was the purpose of saying it in front of not only Evelyn and Shawnee, outside of you felt the way that Evelyn and Shawnee, who were friends before the show too, it gave jealous again. It,
And
it
vindictive.
it gave jealous. I don't like the fact that you and Shawnee are still friends and I'm not cool with you. So I'm just gonna blurt this out because why would you
Yeah, I very vindictive. It was given vindictive all the
for
way.
no reason?
All the way. Not to mention later on down the line, Malaysia revealed that Jennifer was talking about her daughter.
Her daughter.
Her daughter.
Her daughter. Yeah, get your
Now
New
that
York
was like
accent right.
that was at the like because for whatever reason, Evelyn and Jennifer got past the whole, Evelyn sleeping with your ex thing. They got past that.
I think Evelyn got do you think she did? I don't think she ever did.
Maybe she didn't. I guess maybe she tried to, I guess. I don't know because they were still cool after that.
I
Up
don't
until they
she
got to Amsterdam.
I don't think she ever did. I think Evelyn moved past it because she knows it wasn't true.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she moved past it then, but I kind of feel like so like, Evelyn got two strikes, but like Jennifer, now you got one because what did you say that for?
Right.
Or really, Evelyn, Jennifer has two. So like we tied up, but like, why did you say it?
Exactly. And then when we get to Amsterdam, which Evelyn invited Jennifer on a trip without everybody else's knowledge, that's when Malaysia exposed Jennifer for everything else that she said about Evelyn and Shawnee's.
They acted a fool in Amsterdam.
It was great TV, by the way. I
It
made it.
was, but it's like y'all not embarrassed. Like I had such secondhand embarrassment watching them episodes. Like y'all not embarrassed? Oh my god, y'all are too old for this.
Right.
Ah, I just makes my skin crawl thinking about like y'all really showed out.
Do you think Jennifer said any of those things, even though she's still denying that she ever said it? Do you think she said it all? Because
What
I believe it.
whatever they said, she said. She said. I wholeheartedly I believe every single word. And it's not because I just overly like Malaysia, but what reason would Malaysia have
To
to
make it up.
lie and to make up such like intricate things? Like she called Shanice what like a latchkey kid or something. Like some of the stuff that she said was kind of like, who else would know that but Jennifer?
Right.
Who else would know that? And I don't know if Evelyn was doing it or not, but who else would know that Evelyn was like, leaving money on the table and saying, "Go pay the bills." Like, who else? Who else would know that but Jennifer?
I believe it. Every word I believe. Okay. Um, the next season, Jennifer and Evelyn continued with
Yeah,
Evelyn throwing a cup of water in Jennifer's face. Um, it was more so about she was still denying all the things she said about her daughter. Still denying it. Still denying it.
very much so denying.
Um, I think was Jennifer even invited to that trip that they went on this? I don't think she was. She wasn't. It was a trip they went on. They could do the season, the finale trip. I don't think she was there.
Where'd they go?
What did they? What I don't know where they went. I just remember
That's not when they were in that house, right? With
because that's the whole. Actually, we met in 2011, and hey babe, all that shit. I don't remember where they was at.
oh,
I don't remember. I know it was some hot shit though. I know they were hot as hell, but I don't remember where they was at.
I don't remember where they were at either. But they
But
ended up like talking on the beach or something, right?
That was season 6 when they talked on the beach. Where I'm at now is season 8 with OG and them.
Oh,
I don't.
okay. Well, OG, that's when they were staying up in that house. I like just
Yeah,
watched that scene today.
yeah. I don't know where. I don't think Jennifer was there though. I don't think they invited her on that trip. I don't recall her being
Shawnee
there.
invited her, I thought.
But I don't remember her being there though.
The one I'm thinking of is with OG was there. What's her name? Kirsten.
Yeah,
Kristen.
Kristen.
Kristen was there. Because Jennifer brought her friend.
That's a. I know what trip you talking about. That's another trip they went on. That's
Okay.
the first trip. They had an international trip, and I don't think that Jennifer went on that trip.
She must not have, because I can't remember. I can't remember her
Because
being on
that
it.
trip that you're talking about, that's the trip that Evelyn threw the water in her face on. That's the trip that she did that. So this other trip, I don't think she was there because they really weren't filming with her like that season 8.
So, like, now that's strike 3. Because, again, you can't keep your hands or anything attached to your hands to yourself. We too old
Right.
to be throwing stuff on people. Good God. It's kind of hard to be on Evelyn's side.
Right. So by season 8, they still weren't friends. Season 9 is that god awful COVID season. I think by the end of that season, they were friends again. How? I don't know. Um, they talked, I think, that last episode. The episode was very short and forgivable. The season was very short and forgettable
Because we didn't need
because
it.
we didn't need it. By the time Evelyn came back in season 11, this past season that they did, it
Yep.
started off being weird between the two of them, but by the end they were best friends again, which is so crazy to me. But I guess so that's where we're at now. So when you
Yep.
look back on everything that happened between Jennifer and Evelyn,
Mm.
who was wrong? Jennifer, Evelyn, or was it a draw?
It has to be a draw.
I agree.
I want to say Jennifer because she started it, but
Yeah.
it has to be a draw.
I agree. I can't even lie. I agree with that. I
It
do.
has to be a draw. They might be beefing by the time the season starts, though. So who knows? So who knows what happened this off season? So.
Yeah, I agree. There are some things that I look at differently now than I did
Yeah.
before. Because it's like I'll be watching it back. It's crazy how you mature with age. Because a lot of the shit that I agree with back then on my videos, I cringe.
But it's crazy how you can look back now and cringe. I don't think Evelyn or Jennifer look back and cringe at how they behave. That's the thing. Like, to be watching it now, because I watched this last season, Evelyn was still fighting. Granted, she didn't start the fight. I was on her side with that. She didn't start it, but like, if I'm 39, hell, Evelyn got to be over 50, right? Or close
Or
to it.
close to 50.
You really took off your shoes to fight in the club, and you weren't doing it like she didn't start it, but it's still like, let security handle it. Like, we've matured, but like none of y'all have on the show.
That's what
That's
I'm saying. Because
unfortunate.
I hate watching my own videos. I hate I hate it.
But it shows growth. It shows growth.
Yeah, like it's so many things that make me cringe. The the horrible, like I was doing most of my videos in wife beaters, terrible.
You were
Um
comfortable.
the camera quality was trash, the opinions were trash, everything was just trash. It's so urban, just bad
Okay,
all the
not
way around.
urban, not urban.
It's urban, just
you can't
bad.
you can't blame camera quality. We've come a long way.
We have,
We've
we
come a
have.
long way as a society with the camera. I mean, if you look at some of my first YouTube videos in like 2012, it looked like I'm recording in the dark. So it's like eyes and teeth, and I'm like, oh, okay. I see why you stopped because what were we doing? So
Terrible, but I can honestly go back and be like, damn, I was wrong. I can honestly say
I
that.
mean, that's growth too. There are some people that will go back and still stand on what they said. So
And knowing that they were wrong, they don't want to
knowing
admit
they
it.
were wrong. I've gone back in like seasons that I've done, the current season, and be like, yeah, I did a lot that video. I did a lot that video. I was wrong. I mean, sometimes I do a little retraction, but growth. We just keep it going.
Yeah, I was just saying that to I don't know who that was. Because I did two videos today. I did, of course, I did the one with Pierre before you tonight, and then
Mhm.
I did the live with Destiny from LAMH tonight. That's why I was in a rush because I had that first, then y'all too. So
Okay.
but I don't know who did it was either not Pierre, Pierre or Destiny. I said that too, but you know, it can be difficult as a content creator. You know what I'm saying? Like you do it, like you just out, you getting paid for the shit, and you saying your opinions and stuff like that. And of course, it's gonna come with difference of opinions, but sometimes it can be a bit much. Sometimes, because sometimes these people think they know you as a person and they don't. But I as of 2 weeks ago, I have decided not to put so much into what they have to say because in what we're doing, they're going to be there regardless. Like some
Yeah.
people watch even if they don't like you, they're gonna watch. And we just have to embrace that.
I stay out of my comments for certain shows now.
Yeah, that's what you have to like. Like I'm starting to stay out of them now for LAMH, or if I do read them, I just delete the ones that are terribly negative. Like I just, I don't delete comments that disagree. But if you just comment at me personally, then bye. You know,
I actually pin those.
I used to pin them and let the subscribers drag their ass,
I
but
pin mine. I don't have issues with LAMH though.
see, I have
I
because
don't. And I think it's because I
yeah.
hate everybody on the show. So I don't like anybody on the cast.
That's where I'm at with it. I really don't care for anyone.
No, I catch hell from Potomac. And I catch hell from like Love is Blind a lot.
Oh, see, I don't watch that.
Y'all need to come on to the Netflix shows. I
That's
be
what that's what Jamie did to me. That's what I think
mhm.
Jamie said that to me one time when we was hanging out. I think she's mentioned it to me before. I don't know.
The
I think
Netflix shows, the Netflix shows have what like that's what made my channel. So
okay.
like Love is Blind, I got one season, I got like 10,000 subscribers from that season.
Oh wow.
So like
See,
Love
I
is
didn't know people
Blind,
watched Netflix shows like
yeah,
that.
people do. Love Island, like The Ultimatum, all those type of shows. th-
Jamie be reviewing Love Island, and
She
I didn't know
does.
what the hell that was when she was reviewing. I'm like, girl, what
It's
is this?
hard because it's a daily show. And
Yeah.
so, I work in corporate. So I'm up every day at 5 to drive downtown to come home and watch this hour show to record and then have people yell at me in the comments because I don't like their fave. I'll be like, oh God, everybody wait a minute. Everybody wait a minute. But like those type of shows always do well for me. So like, Married at First Sight is like my bread and butter. So
You know, this particular show, Basketball Wives, used to be my bread and butter, and so did Love and Hip Hop. Because those are the two shows, like anything VH1, they would watch it from me. Like
yeah.
anything, like Basketball Wives, Love and Hip Hop, K Michelle, My Life back then, um, Ti, Friends and Family Hustle.
See, and
Uh,
I was podcasting then. So
yeah.
me and my friend, we had a podcast, and I'm like, damn, we should have been on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
during that time because we talked about all those shows. But we used to do a lot of scripted shows too. So like
Yeah.
Scandal, the How to Get Away with Murder, Empire, all of that stuff was huge
See,
too.
TV was actually still kind of good then. I
Yes.
had a lot of stuff to talk about. R&B
Yep.
divas, Hollywood divas was on.
Hmm.
Like I had a lot, but now it's so dry.
Netflix. Everything is pivoting to Netflix. Netflix and then Peacock. Cause like I did Traders. Traders was really good this season too.
I didn't even watch Traders. I didn't even know what that was.
Even if you don't want to recap it, just go back and watch it.
Everybody tells me that, so I'm gonna have to do it now. Everybody been telling me that.
You
So
could have did Summer House, Scotty. The thing with Summer House is it's so much to talk about every episode,
that's
even
what she
though
said.
even the way that when I'm bored at work, I go back and watch his recaps because he is he drags them people on there for no reason. For reason, for reason. But his recaps, episode 3 and 4, I have probably given him well over 100 views because I play those, I send those recaps to people.
And they laugh.
And my thing is, I don't even I like the people that he hates, but it's still like, no, that was still funny though. Like it's like I want to be mad at you, but it's like, no, that shit was funny though.
Right. T is just hilarious.
He
That's just what
is.
it
I love
is.
T.
That's
But
just
you like y'all just gotta pivot. You just
yeah,
gotta pivot to different shows. But I also do a lot of like dating competition shows too. So I'm
yeah.
in like a kind of different sector
Hmm.
when it comes to YouTube. So
Yeah, I mean, if I could do Love and Marriage Huntsville, because I wasn't even doing it at first. I picked that up after COVID because there was nothing else on then. So
yeah,
I picked that up and it became big for me. I hate that it has, but it has, you know.
it's a treat. But y'all catch hell on there too though. And I'll watch and like I don't always agree with y'all, but I'm like, it's not that bad. It's
But the crazy thing about it, those are our highest rated reviews. That's the part that I don't get.
yeah.
That's the
It'll
crazy.
be some stuff, and I'll be like, nah, y'all doing too much, but it's not the end of the world.
Right.
Like,
Ooh.
I'm sure y'all have seen some of the stuff I've said about Potomac and stuff, and y'all like T was like, you was tripping, but I liked the video, and I'm like,
Well, girl, we
I'm
could be up
okay
here.
with that.
We could be up here all night. We didn't stop talking about what we were supposed to be talking about. We would be up here all
Right.
night. But anyway, thank you so much, Tammy, once again
Yes.
for doing something with me. I appreciate it. And you know, when it's time for something else, you know I'll be reaching out to you again to do something.
Absolutely keep me in mind.
Always, honey, always. And for those of you that are watching, thank you guys for tuning in. This was Scotty by Nature TV and Tammy Talks, and we figured out who was wrong. It was both of their ass. We'll
Both.
talk to y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.